Multi-award-winning musician and songwriter Pete Denahy from the lovely little town of Yackandandah in northern Victoria knew when he was 11 years old that he wanted to be a country singer. He taught himself to play guitar and did it really well too, along with a couple of other instruments, and started writing great songs. When he was 13, he saw Slim Dusty in concert for the first time, and 12 years later, he was in Slim's band, playing fiddle and doing a comedy spot on the show. While he has written some ridiculously funny songs, he certainly has, he is no stranger to composing a heart-wrencher too. But he is fully aware that his songs about insects and toilet paper do hold special places in the hearts of his fans. They do, indeed. His latest single, The Last Time I Saw Slim, a gorgeous tribute to the father of Australian country music that I played just a few seconds ago, is yet another great example of Pete's amazing talent as a songwriter and musician. And I've absolutely no doubt whatsoever that it's destined to be his next huge success. Certainly, it'll be getting some serious airplay on this show. Pete is a 5 times Golden Guitar winner and is obviously delighted to have won 3 of those awards for his fiddle playing, something that has kept him employed for many years. As well as working as a sideman and guest artist for Slim, he has done the same for Sarah Storer, Troy Cassar-Daley and Lee Kernaghan, some of this nation's biggest country music drawcards. As well as being a talented artist and musician in his own right, I was surprised to learn that Pete is also adept at leatherwork. I guess anyone needs a hobby, right? I was also very interested to read that Pete takes 2 trips a year to Japan with Australian music fans to explore the bluegrass and country music scene there, something I found quite fascinating. I'm privileged to have Pete waiting patiently on the phone to have a chat with me, so let's bring him on air right now. Hello, Pete. How you going, mate?
Oh, hello. Hello, Harry. Thanks very much for having me. Actually, funny you mentioned the leather work. As we speak, I am plaiting a hat band.
Oh, really?
I'm plaiting a little miniature stock whip kangaroo hide hat band. Yeah.
Really?
So there you go.
That's great. You're a talented man, Pete.
Oh, well, I don't know about that. Just, yeah. But I give it my best shot anyway.
Well, it's all you can do, mate, isn't it, really? But, yeah, look, music-wise, I don't know about your leatherwork. I haven't seen it, but I reckon if it's anything like your music, it's going to be top-notch. Absolutely. Absolutely. No doubt whatsoever. Now, this is the second time I've had you on the show, so, look, welcome to the Country Club. It's always great to have you on the show, and I do thank you for taking the time to have this chat with me on your Sunday arvo.
Appreciate you having me. Thank you.
Oh, you're more than welcome. Mate, I've got to tell you, it's been like 30-odd years since the last time I saw Yackandandah, and I reckon old Yak has come along really well since then, but I've always found it a lovely little town, absolutely gorgeous. I'd love to live there. So I am.
Yeah, I sort of feel that way often, like, say if we go up the pub, especially in autumn and spring, but any old time, you're up there and you look down the street and you think, oh, gee, you know, a lot of people drive through here and think, oh, I'd love to live in Yackandandah. And I think, well, we do. And, yeah, certainly don't take it for granted. We've actually bought our cemetery plots here, so...
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's nice to have a patch of land.
That's forward thinking for you, Harry.
It certainly is. I'm impressed, I've got to tell you.
It happened... I actually tell the story during my gig, so maybe I shouldn't give it all away. But no, we have got our cemetery plot, and they're only getting dearer, so might as well get in there now.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We saved a bit of money and got a double.
Oh, well, that's always a good idea.
Not side by side, one on top of the other. So.
Oh yeah.
You know,
yeah.
Whoever goes between me and my wife, she keeps telling me it's going to be her, and I say no. Because neither of us wants to go to the other one's funeral, you know.
Yeah, well, yeah, I get that.
What a morbid way to start the conversation. Sorry, mate.
No, that's fine, mate. Because it puts me in mind of a conversation I have with my wife about what happens with our ashes, because we're both going to get cremated when we're gone. Yeah. And I said, look, I want my ashes in the same urn as yours, you know.
Righto.
So we're together. She says, absolutely no way known do I want your ashes in with me.
Oh,
So,
right. You got told on certain terms.
so yeah, but I've spoken to my daughter. I said, listen, if she goes first, I want. But anyway, so it's all in the works, mate. As you said, forward planning.
That's right, mate. That's right.
All right, so let's have a talk about music. Let's put this morbid stuff behind us.
Sorry, I brought that up myself.
Nah, my fault. I'll take the blame for it. It's my job. Now, this song, the last time I saw Slim, mate, it's a heart wrencher in many respects, but it's a great story because I'm a huge fan of Slim's music and Joy's music because she was a great songwriter in her own right.
Was, yeah. She wrote some. I think she wrote Slim's best songs.
Yep.
Oh well, it's a big. I reckon she did.
Yeah.
And, she knew Slim better than anybody. So,
Yep.
Yeah, she was just very. Her musical sense was so good, George.
Yeah, she absolutely had a talent for it, and I always refer to Lights on the Hill. What a you can't get a better example of great songwriting than that one, I reckon.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Kelly's Offsider.
Oh yeah.
I think that would be my favourite truck song, I reckon. Oh, and I like Angel of Golden Hill too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the old Lights would have been that and Long Yard were probably the two most, they'd be the most requested songs, I reckon.
I reckon you're right.
Just every show with Lights. Lights was always the last song, so that's how big a song it was for him. And look, if I'm sitting in a gig somewhere, if I ever say, does anyone want to hear a Slim song? Usually it's Lights or Long Yard.
Okay, yeah. I find Long Yard a little bit depressing because I just love animals.
Is the hair muzzle turning grey, Harry? Or?
Yeah. Mine's gone beyond grey, mate. It's white.
Yeah, well, Slim did leave a verse out of the original version of that. It was the horse came to a rather sad end in the original.
Oh, really? Okay.
Dixon had one more verse for that. Yeah.
Yeah. So you were in the Slim Dusty band. How long were you in the band?
Well, I was the last musician he hired for the band, so I did the last 4 years, 98 to 2002.
Okay.
And the last show that we played was at the Country Club Casino in Launceston, in Tassie.
The Country Club? Oh, yeah.
In Tassie, yeah.
Yeah,
and,
okay. Yeah, I've been there.
That was the actual last show we ever played.
Oh, right.
And we got a photo, actually, the next morning. We were all heading off back home, and the whole lot of us had a photo on the stairs of the casino there, and I was just looking at it the other day. And Rod Coe at the time, Slim's producer and band leader, he just said, I got a funny feeling about this,
Mm.
And the funny feeling was that that was the last time we were all together as that group.
Okay.
I went, so the song that you just played, and thank you for that, is that was the last time I saw him.
Right.
And it was about a month or so before he died.
Right. Okay. Geez, that would have been that would have been hard to get that news. When it happened.
Well, I was actually working at Melbourne Show at the time.
Oh, okay.
I was part of a thing called the Bush Games down there, and this was in 2003, of course.
Right.
So, we were doing this sort of mock-up of Stockman's Challenge as entertainment in the arena. And it was when the big arena was still there at Melbourne before it all got pulled down. We'd come galloping. There's 9 of us come galloping out on these horses, cracking whips.
Okay.
And there'd be a cowhide drag, and there were wagon races, and it was enormous fun, And we were camped in in one of the old pavilions there.
Mm-hmm.
Horses and everything in there, and then the horses all went went pretty crazy with the first night. The fireworks went off, so we had to get, and they all got out of their yards. And then other things that happened down there, like it was back when we were all smoking, so we'd be in there smoking, and the OH&S guys came in and they said, "Hey, you can't be smoking in here. That's where they store the fireworks at the end of this pavilion." I said, "Oh, right." So, but it was while I was working there. I got the call that Slim had died, and then and of course in the Cattleman's Bar at the Melbourne show, the Slim was getting played pretty heavily for the next few nights there, and then and I actually flew up to Sydney for his funeral.
Okay.
Luckily I had some half decent clothes to wear to his funeral. Actually, wore one of our old band shirts to his funeral. Okay. And then there was a sort of a private cremation, and then we went, and then there was a wake we had that was just really family and musicians.
Okay. Yeah.
At a club, and it was great. It was a really great catch up. Yeah, good celebration.
I lament the fact that I'm at an age now where that there's so many funerals that we go to, and so many wakes and so many send-offs and stuff. But it's the only way nowadays that I get to catch up with old mates.
Yeah. We're just sort of sitting around hoping someone dies so we can catch up.
Now that's morbid.
Yeah, that's morbid.
Oh, that's gold, mate. Oh, geez. Now, I've got to tell you, a couple of weeks ago, I went and saw Lee Kernaghan in concert here at the Palms, at the Crown Complex.
Oh, yeah.
And what a great show! So it was interesting to note that in the intro that you had played with Lee Kernaghan in his band. What a privilege! Because I sat there the whole night, wishing I could be on stage with those guys. They were such a good band,
Oh yeah. I see. When I did a year with him.
Okay.
And it was when the Wolf Brothers were his band.
Oh, what a!
So Lee rang me, and he said, "Oh, are you available to do some touring?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, I can do up to this date because Troy Cassadaly's asked me, I'm name dropping now, but
go with it.
So anyway, Lee's talking away to me, and then he said, so have you got a good guitar? And I said, yeah. I said, I've got a guitar made by Joe Gallagher from Albury.
Oh, right.
Nice. Anyway, I said, but you want me to play fiddle though, don't you? And he said, oh, there might be a song or two for fiddle, but it's mostly guitar. So I actually got hired to play rhythm guitar, which was
okay.
I don't know that I'd hire myself as a rhythm guitar player, but I got hired by Lee, and which was great. And I had a great time touring with Lee. He really looked after me very well, and the Wolf Brothers are some of the funniest blokes you'll ever meet. I actually, so they were doing his support act, and then I got, by Lee's management, they said, all right, Pete can do 15 minutes before the Wolfies.
All right.
I crammed 5 songs into that 15 minutes, believe it or not. And then just had a great, look, I really had a ball. Because I don't, up until that, I sort of really only knew of Lee's big hits. I didn't know much of his material.
Right.
But I didn't know how. For that reason, probably I didn't know how I'd go. I thought, I wonder if I'll enjoy this, and I certainly did.
Yeah.
Had a great time and a lot of laughs with the Wolf Brothers.
Oh, they're great. I'm a huge fan of the Wolfies.
Yeah.
I've interviewed Nick and Tom on my show.
Great fellas.
Several times. Absolutely great guys to talk to.
I mean, we're sort of. We come from very different musical. Or we play very different music. Put it that way. I listen to and play sort of. I'd say my style sort of like trad country / bluegrass.
Yep.
My style.
Yep.
And theirs is certainly not. Theirs is sort of like a rock and roll. But
yeah.
But Tom Tom and Nick, they know their country music. Like, they know a lot of stuff. Big Slim fans, big George Jones fans.
Yep.
And they can really sing that trad country, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Just don't hear it that much, but they love John Williamson, you know. They love all. So they're really well rounded.
Yeah, I absolutely, I agree with you. I got so much of their material in my playlist, and I just vlog it because I reckon they're great. And I saw them live here in Melbourne one time when they were on tour. Their most recent tour, and a great show, absolutely terrific. Live. So
and look, Tom, I mean, they're great musicians too.
They
Tom's, are. I really I was emceeing at a festival in Mackay a couple of years ago, and I sort of watched their show pretty meticulous because I was there for the whole thing. So
okay,
and for some reason I started taking a lot more notice of Tom's bass playing that night. I don't know why. I sort of hadn't done it before, but I was saying to him later, "Gee, you're a bloody good bass player, Tom."
He is, isn't he? Yeah.
I call him Young Tommy. You're a great player, Young Tommy. And so he's, good fellas.
And Nick's a great guitar player as well, so, and singer.
Yeah, great singer. And I actually wrote a song with them on my last record called Those Old Fiddle Tunes Make Him Cry.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'd wanted to, because I got together with them to write a light-hearted song. I didn't want to write, because they're funny blokes, you know.
Yeah, they are.
And I co-wrote two songs of funny blokes on that. I wrote one with the Wolfies and one with Mike Carr.
Oh, yeah.
And both of them are tearjerkers.
Okay.
So, they write a good tearjerker. I tell you what, that song, they had a song about a dog on the album last or something, and there was a line in it. I think I rang Nick to tell him what I thought of that line, about the dog giving him the 10 best years and the one worst day of his life. You know?
Okay, yeah.
There's morbid again.
We're having a great chat today, aren't we?
Yeah. Oh, well.
Speaking of which, we're out of time, mate, so I've got to sign.
All right. Well, thanks for your support, Harry. I really appreciate it.
And thank you for taking the time. I appreciate that, you talking to me, because I always look forward now to, talking to you on the phone. And hopefully one day I'll be able to, maybe get together with you sometime. We record something like an interview, maybe face-to-face at some point. I would love to do that if I ever get the chance.
Be great, Harry. And you keep in touch. I'll have a chat with you any old time.
Lovely stuff. Maybe we could do it down the pub. I'll come up there. We'll go down the pub and have a chat, and I'll record it. Yeah, beautiful. There's a plan for you.
That makes perfect sense.
All right. And I'll ask you the rest of those questions that I've got listed here that I haven't had time to get to.
Let listeners know. Check us out on Facebook and drop us a line. Say good day, and check out my Japan trips. I've got one in May.
Okay. All right.
Japan. Yep, it's what is it? $6,970 per person, twin share, and that's flying out of Sydney. Although Melbourne, you can fly out of Melbourne too. Just putting in an 10 nights in Japan. Check out PeteDenahy.com. How's that for a slick advertising?
Well done. Well done. I'm glad you got that in. Because that is an awesome... No, I won't go there because I haven't got time. But anyway, it's an awesome idea. I love that, that you go to Japan to hear bluegrass and country. Terrific.
Oh, yeah, some good playing. It's a lot of... We only take 15 people.
Yeah.
And it's just a small group, and it's a hell of a lot of fun, yeah.
It would be.
I love it, yeah.
It would be, yeah. I get it. All right, look, I'll have to go. But look, thanks again, mate, and I wish you all the best, and, take it easy. Look after yourself, and hopefully we'll chat again down the line real soon.
Certainly. Thanks a lot, Harry.
Thank you, Pete, and take it easy. Bye-bye for now.